Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel video. Long story short, we had some mishap happen on the video that we spent like an hour and a half filming yesterday. So now, because we don't have time to waste, we are going to have a similar conversation in the car on our way to the gym at 9 o'clock at night. I would say it took me all day to get over the fact that we lost the audio to this video because it was really fucking good. But we make the best of it, and I would say our conversation was too good that we can't not have a video because it was that good of a conversation. And I feel like you guys like to listen to us maybe talk or maybe not. I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna go drive to the gym. You probably will see the back of my head this entire video. So I would say I would recommend listening to this video on the way to something, or just kind of putting it on something while you're doing something else so you can kind of listen. Because I can wholeheartedly say that after this clip, there will be nothing to watch. So I hope that you guys like this conversation. And as always, I am very appreciative for your support. I am always, I would say, in the midst of my own chaoticness, I sometimes have to bring myself back to reality of like, you know what? But like at least I'm farther, than I was last year, yesterday, a month ago. And you guys actually give me a purpose and also a career. And so for that, I am extremely grateful. And I will always continue to, I would say, show up as best as I can, no matter how I feel, because, no one really cares how we feel because we still have things to do. So we're going to get this going. So thanks, guys.
And off we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the best questions that we asked last night, and it was actually Victoria who asked it, was, are you happy?
Who, me?
Yes.
Remember I asked you that?
Oh, yeah. The answer is no. But I would say to go off with that answer is kind of like what we had discussed yesterday, is we have moments and memories of happiness. Like I would say Victoria being here. Also, we're going to have her social media. Hold on 1 second before I'm going to stop the card. I'll put her socials in the description because that's respectful to do. Just want to throw that out there.
I need a fan.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say I think we get so caught up in actually feeling rather than doing. And we also get confused about how our goals don't get accomplished from us being happy. Our goals get accomplished from us facing the most uncomfortable fear and also trying to like overcome, what's in the way of it and continuing to actually prosper forward. So I would say my happiness is actually geared more towards helping other people, hopefully trying to inspire other people. I want to change people's lives, and so therefore, that being my goal, I would say my happiness feeling, I would say, subsides right now. And, kind of like, I would say I regurgitate this statement all the time. I don't really have a life schedule right now. And it's honestly because my life is constantly changing. I mean, even when you were here last, I had a completely different life, right?
Yeah, it was only 6 months.
It was only 6 months. And Lucas and I actually have like we say a thing, we're like, every 3 months, life's very different. And we say that, like, not as a joke, but it's like 3 months is not a long time, but it's also a long time or I don't even know if that just makes sense, but it's such a small amount of time, but yet it's a long time where someone's life could just completely be different in the time span of 3 months. So
would you say you're able to find moments of joy and happiness in the chaos of your life, or is this more of just like I grind and I'm suffering?
I don't suffer all the time. I think that's the biggest misconception when people read my captions or they read my posts on social media. Because most people couldn't handle the pressure that I face on a daily basis. I think most people read my stuff and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so much, you're so intense, you're so all these things. And yeah, those things actually might be true. But it's also easier for everybody else to kind of give me like the feedback of, slow down, Miranda, take a chill pill. I would say if there's one thing that like really triggers me, it's like almost like when you tell an angry person to just breathe. They're not going to breathe. They're going to get more mad. But I would say I don't really get mad at those comments. It's more so just, it doesn't really matter sometimes how much I explain myself. My words are only going to be interpreted and comprehended with how that person has had life, or how they have viewpoints about success, or
where they're at in their life.
Yeah, like their fears, their traumas, their doubts, the confidence, the insecurities, all those things like play into like how I'm perceived to the public. That's also how I'm perceived by friends. Like I would say I've had to actually like let go of a lot of friends that, and I've mentioned this on another YouTube video, where I've had some really nice friends and there's nothing wrong with them. I just can't be spending my energy that I already don't have on just constantly trying to only, I would say, like help other people when like they're not at the point where they can actually like make this a mutual thing, because I'm too much, if that makes sense. Like there's not enough, I would say, there's no mutual benefit. Yeah, and it's like, of course I want to like be able to help others without, having an expectation of, receiving anything in return. It's not about that. It's more so just like, I'd rather have, I'd say between two to four really good friends where, I'm not feeling judged every time I speak. I feel like they actually accept me for who I am, and they want to see me win just like how I want to see them win. I can no longer, I feel like, babysit my friends. Like I can't do that anymore. And sometimes I've honestly left friendships without communicating. Sometimes I leave scenarios and it's just kind of not worth saying. And then there are other times in my life where, I do find it necessary to communicate, because again, for me to be happy, I'm tying this all in now. For me to be happy, I have to stay true to myself. So sometimes even in the midst of me having to have a hard conversation, this is a very like interesting thing I'm about to say that normal people probably would never even think about. But I would say I make myself proud and I am happy in a moment when I feel like I am always choosing to be myself and I'm placing my integrity at the top of my priority list rather than someone else's feelings. And now I'm going to eat my Rice Krispie.
That was very well said. Okay, Victoria, what about you? Do you think in this moment of your life and where you're at, is it easy or hard for you to find joy and happiness?
So I think that for me, I always kind of like think of happiness as like different little aspects as opposed to like one whole thing. So I know when like my therapist asked me this question, I was like, yeah, I'm happy with, my relationships and like my friends, my family and stuff like that. But I'm unhappy with this or this. Like it's always like, I can never like just give one answer. So it's kind of like in my mind, I internalize like different things on what makes me happy or not. But I think within all of that, even though I have like expectations and I'm not happy with certain areas in my life, I can find happiness within like the smaller things, like she mentioned, just like with relationships and friends, and being able to enjoy those present moments. I think if we only focus on the areas we are not happy, like the areas that we're, let's say, lacking, or just areas that aren't going according to plan, then we're never truly going to be happy, and it's going to be like we're constantly striving for something that's like not necessarily attainable. So I remember yesterday, Lucas, you had mentioned that like you think that happiness is finding like little bits of joy kind of momentarily in your day. It's not necessarily something that is always there. It's a feeling. But I think often we live in a society where everything is so like instant gratification, instant validation, instant this, that we want to feel that feeling all the time. And that's not how the world works. That's not how we as humans work. There's going to be obviously moments that we feel happy, but there's also moments that we feel sad or confused or other different kind of feelings, because that's only one feeling of, a vast majority of different ones.
So I would say, Lucas, would you say that like you're happy and content with like your life right now?
I think this is the happiest I've been with my life. But I also think this is the most that I've ever really known and understood myself. So I think the deeper that I've began to understand Lucas and who I am and where I'm heading and the things in myself I need to work on, that I've been able to find more happiness, because I know that I'm kind of in control of my life and where I'm heading and where I'm going. And if I can create, like Victoria just said, if I can create moments in my day where there is joy and happiness and I continue to improve myself, that to me is like finding happiness. Like, am I my best self in this moment?
Yeah.
And that's like my big question I like ask myself is, am I working towards my best self? And there's moments where I have, and there's moments where I haven't. And for me, that's like how I kind of judge it. So I asked earlier if you're happy with your chaotic lifestyle, and I think I asked that, and I get a very we literally just talked about it, Miranda.
You asked if we were happy, not with my chaotic lifestyle.
No, I said in your chaotic lifestyle, are you able to find happiness?
Okay, sorry.
I don't think, are you happy with your chaotic lifestyle? I mean, of course you're not fully happy with that.
All right.
I'm just saying, like, again, speaking on your chaotic lifestyle, this is actually a good like lead into what I kind of want to say is, I think there's a misunderstanding of your lifestyle, and I think people question, like, oh my God, you're doing too much, slow down, but nobody said that to Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan when they're working towards
they didn't get told that.
They did, but no, they didn't.
Nobody listened to that.
But at the same time, they put themselves around people that understood the grind and what they're working towards.
Yeah.
And in that same regard, they were able to elevate to levels people can never get to.
Yes.
And I think sometimes someone's going to hear and be like, well, you're comparing yourself to Michael and Kobe. But no. But I can look at my life and craft my work ethic and what I want to achieve in life of how they did. And I can aim my trajectory of my goals in my life towards that. And if you're not willing to work and sacrifice and, not have balance for a period of your life to achieve something great, then you're not really willing to have the goals and success you want.
Yes.
Because you have to be willing to give the amount you're willing to achieve at the end of the day.
Yes, exactly.
So if you're not willing to give this most outrageous amount to become so successful in life, then you're not going to achieve that amount of success you're looking to achieve. And sometimes that means taking a risk. Other times that means like getting to that place where you're extremely uncomfortable on a continual basis. And a lot of people are afraid of that because that's where you're the most challenged, and it's also where you're going to find out your weaknesses, and you're going to have to face the real you and make a decision is this the path I want to go, and am I willing to become that person and elevate that person and work on my weaknesses, or am I just going to continue to hit the same wall and fall short and then get mad that I'm not where I want to be? And I think you do a great job of continuing to push your limit and continuing to push yourself, but you also do give yourself the rest and the time and the self-care and the mental recuperation that you need. And I think that's not communicated. You only see what you see, but I think people aren't comprehending it because they only comprehend what they want to comprehend.
Well, I would say I post, I don't do it like every week because I would say I try to put my phone down, but I see my therapist every week. Every single week. I see my therapist. So it's more so I take care of myself for what I have time for, but also, I would say in business owners that I would say if you're listening to this, I would say your life becomes a lot different when other people are relying on you for income. Your lifestyle is now how it is, how you're living it, but now the success of the business now determines how someone else's lifestyle either benefits or loses from your efforts. And I think that's the whole misconception about, being an entrepreneur or, being a content creator. That's the misconception is I don't just work hard for myself, I'm working hard for others. That's not right or wrong. That's just what I'm choosing to do because that's what I want to do. And realistically, I put stress on myself. No one else puts it on me. I put it on myself. And kind of like what Tim Grover said at the last seminar is, I would say stress is the pressure that we run away from. So it's more so I can actually handle the pressure that I put on myself because no one else puts it on me but me. But I also have high expectations of how I want to live. I have high expectations, I would say, for honestly you, Lucas, because we both deserve to have a good life. We did not have, I would say, the most perfect upbringing. Everyone was, making fun of us doing this, and it was like a joke, right? Like everything we did was a joke. And then like now it's not a joke, right? It's not a joke.
It's funny until it's not
well,
funny.
It's funny until
Money speaks. Wait, it's funny until money speaks.
Well, yeah, but then it's like it's funny when everyone talks crap, and now I've met all of your idols. You know, now the idols have actually become my rivals. So now it's actually just interesting because people that used to talk about me or make fun of me, I'm sure they still do it. That's just how life works. But they would never actually say any of that to my face or your face, actually.
No, because to our face they're going to be supportive, but behind our back, they realize they can't live and do what we do at the level we do it on the basis we do.
I want to touch on something that Victoria and I talked about earlier today, and it's the learning how to be uncomfortable within your routine. One of the biggest, I would say, lessons that I learned when I was at the seminar last time was they actually they were making kind of like a reference to like the people that go on TikTok and they have this white bedding, and then they steam it and then they iron it, and they wash their sheets every 2 days, and the duvet is perfectly spread, and now you're journaling, and now you're doing all this stuff. And believe me, I'm not knocking self-care. I'm not this is not like a low blow at how you choose to take care of your bed, your room, or whatever. I actually have like a little, I would say a little bit of OCD, but I don't have it to the extent where it makes me kind of go nuts. It's not that. It's more so like I actually am allergic to dander and dust, and it just makes me feel better when my apartment's clean. Anyways, my point is when we get so comfortable within our own routine, we're actually holding ourselves back. And her and I were talking, and she was just kind of saying it's crazy that some people are actually able to kind of stick to the same schedule, and there's so many boundaries of this is important to me, and I'm going to stick to that, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's literally nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to tell you right now that if you're not willing to make adjustments, or if your entire day is thrown off and you're not able to be like, what, I still have to hold myself to the standard of I have to get shit done no matter what, and it doesn't matter what time I go to bed because this shit has to get done. That's the difference between people that are going to that next level, where the people that are too comfortable within a routine, no offense, but they're not going to be more than what they are in that moment because they're not ready to adjust, they're not able to adapt, and it's very hard for them when failure is now at the forefront of their success.
And what happens when you disrupt that routine? Actually, so there's a famous Muhammad Ali quote. He said, everyone can have a plan until life punches you in the face.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, you can have this perfect routine and a plan, but when life comes by and it throws you that haymaker, are you able to adjust and come back and win the fight? Yeah. Or are you going to get knocked the fuck out and you have to figure out how to get back up from that?
Yeah. It's funny too because, well, not funny, but I would say we were talking and I kind of gave an analogy. Like I said, if you had a basketball, I was talking to Victoria. I said, if you had a basketball and you were on the court and you were getting blocked, everyone's in your way, they're jumping, whatever that means in basketball terms, I have no clue. But I would say when you don't have room to throw the ball and you're kind of trying to think about where am I going to go to next, that's kind of the same thing as what success is. When your back is up against the wall and you have no idea who you're going to throw the basketball to, because now the plan that was talked about with your team, that plan is now irrelevant. The plan doesn't exist now. So now you have to think fast. You have to be like, okay, I got to weigh my options really fast now because everyone's around me now, and the pressure's on. And so to me, when the pressure's on, and for example, the YouTube video gets, the audio of course doesn't work because that's just how things roll around here for us. That's just the norm. I would say nothing here surprises me anymore. Nothing shocks me. I don't cry about things anymore. It's just kind of it's taking about 15 to 20 minutes to accept the failure for what it is. And then, okay, so now we actually have to continue to move forward because we can't afford to not have a YouTube video because that's not our path. We can't afford to fall off just because, the audio decided to just not be audio. And so it's just interesting because I find myself in scenarios where, today we were supposed to go to the beach. Supposed to go to the beach today. And guess what? We did not go to the beach today. Why? Because Miranda went to bed really fucking late. And there are things that I do that, I don't need to go on and on about things I do. But it's more so
We don't have the help we need,
Yes.
and you end up carrying a lot of the burden and tasks that we have to do. And I think for you, when no one's awake, it's easier for you to focus and think because no one's calling you randomly or getting you on the phone or it's not a distraction, especially when we're constantly filming content and doing things. That's a whole second and third job on top of the first job. So it sucks that you stay up that late because it's not
normal.
It's not ideal.
But also, it's not, again, like, it's not normal and it's not ideal. But I also don't want to live a normal and ideal life. I don't want that. I never wanted that. I have always, I would say, even, back into the personal training days, I can confidently tell you that I have really worked hard at putting my feelings aside and, like, showing up in the best moment that I can, whether that's my best mood or it's more so like I'm holding back tears now, and that is my best for that day, because my best, and I'd say all of our best actually changes based on circumstances, environments, and etc. But I'd say we're getting closer to the gym. But I wanted to ask Victoria one thing: is like, now that you're here and you have observed my this this lifestyle or what have you, would you say that seeing the way I live is overwhelming? And also, would you say would you say that you feel that I am authentic to myself?
Yes. I would say you're authentic to yourself. Do I think your lifestyle is overwhelming? Not necessarily. I think your lifestyle is, like you said, it's inconsistent right now because you have so much going on. You don't have the help you need, so you're taking on a lot of different tasks. Every day, different things are coming up. You're having to kind of adjust and work through it.
I meant the wrong lane. Oh, shoot.
You're okay. Just go straight.
I can't.
Accelerate off the line and
I have to make a left.
accelerate off the line and beat the guy to the right. You got to beat him off the line.
He's on his phone, or she.
Okay, Victoria, you were saying?
Oh, no, I'm just saying that, like, it's not that necessarily that your life is chaotic, it's that you just have a lot going on, and every day is slightly different, and you're having to step up and, like, take on responsibilities that you aren't necessarily in the position to do so because you just have so much other stuff going on. So maybe not chaos, maybe, like, overwhelming is, like, a better word for it. Yeah. Just because you have so much going on. But it's not like I don't come and hang out and think, wow, this is really chaotic. Like, everything's like, it's not like a zoo, It's like I think you have a lot going on. You're pulled in a lot of different directions. You have a lot of different opportunities. Your career is starting to really take off. You have a lot of really good ideas, and you kind of have a clear idea of what you want from this. I think it's just you have a lot of ambitions, and you don't have the team in place yet to accommodate for where you want to be.
Yeah. Now, would you say that sometimes, like, your own lifestyle, like, makes you feel, like, overwhelmed? Like, what are some things that, like, you, like, struggle with or that you go through that maybe other people around you might not understand?
Oh, gosh. Well, I feel like because my life has encountered such a transition, I've kind of lived, like, one life, and now I'm living a complete different life. I feel like I have different perspectives in that sense, but of course, like, where I'm from, not a lot of people do social media, so them even just trying to comprehend or understand, like, what you do for work is very difficult. Everyone just works like a normal 9 to 5, and like you said, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we are in a different industry and we do different job, and I'm not even at the scale or level that you're doing it at, but even just in my capacity, not everyone's going to understand that, and sometimes what we do for work doesn't necessarily look like work. So
but it's
often
still work,
we're
though.
Not or people like you said don't take you seriously,
Yeah.
or they just kind of think you've been handed things in life. And I think we come from very similar, not similar, but in a sense we've all had a lot of hardships in our upbringing, and things haven't necessarily just come easily. I think then when we hear those comments, we're like, no, like, it actually isn't like that. But I think that's just ways that people perceive it because they truly don't understand it. They have no comprehension of it. But I think that's kind of the main thing. It's just some people don't understand it, which can be difficult, which can cause, like, an issue because it's hard for them to see eye to eye with what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I want to touch on that is because oh, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Those are so good.
Those are good. I don't think we have those.
You guys don't have anything.
No, we don't have a lot of options.
I remember it was the last time. Yeah, I think it was like last time we went to the store. I'm like, where's all the cereal?
Yeah, I know.
Like we have like I would say like XXXL shelves, and you guys just have large shelves.
You know what's funny is like what used to be exciting about going to the States was like going down the cereal aisle. I would come home from the States with like boxes of cereal, boxes of Pop-Tarts, boxes of candy, because we don't have all these flavors.
Mm-hmm.
So we would come home and have like a year's stock. Like half of the stuff would get not even eaten because we would get so excited, and then we just buy everything. And yeah, we don't have a lot of flavors.
That's really funny.
Pretty boring.
And also too, just going back to like what we were talking about after I scared the shit out of everybody with the horn. I want to say that people are always going to give you feedback that are not doing what they're telling you to do.
Okay,
Meaning,
this happens to you a lot, though.
oh, it happens to me every
I was
day,
gonna say people like
all
to,
day,
I think-
online, in person,
Yeah.
everywhere.
people like to give you
People
feedback
like to
when they
give-
can never live a day in your life.
Yes, people like to tell me, you know, you're doing this wrong. You should be doing. Why aren't you doing? But you should. It's like sometimes I just stand, or I'm sitting, and I'm just listening. And I'm like,
I feel like though when you put your life online,
It gives
like
everybody a right.
everyone has an opinion about everyone else,
Right.
even when they don't necessarily understand your life.
Yeah.
They don't live in your shoes, you
No.
know what I mean? But because that's just what social media is. It's like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a platform for people to express their concerns or express their opinion, tell you what you're doing right, tell you what you're doing wrong. And it's like you end up getting unsolicited advice and opinions all the time.
24/7.
Oh gosh.
And it's like, oh my god, if I was working on myself in this moment, I have 1,000 more things to work on, because you know what, this person right here just told me for an hour how many things I need to improve on. But can you imagine if Miranda started to give unsolicited advice? And, you know, let's say for people that are not used to that, that's seen as aggression when it's not. Keyword quotations. But can you imagine?
Could you imagine?
Could you imagine if every time someone gave me feedback, I'm like now sitting here criticizing someone else's life? People would be in tears. But it's okay. Miranda, she's got to be told.
But on the flip side, the only reason you're able to do what you do and be in a position of, you know, influence is that you can handle that.
Yes.
Most people, they cannot handle people's opinions all the time. Like,
Yeah.
So where you can handle it.
I take it to the chin every single time.
Yes, it's hard. I'm sure some days certain comments get under your skin. But in the most part, you're pretty confident with who you are. You understand your mission and what you want to do in life.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, you almost take those comments as like a grain of salt. Where some people will get so worked up on one single thing, they'd be like, "I'm not doing this anymore."
Yeah.
So-
And I would say I actually wanted to touch on we're going to go to the gym in a second, but this is actually a really good thing where when Hannah was here today, and she's amazing. I hope she's watching this. So hi, Hannah. I adore you. Thanks for helping me.
We can do a little heart. you know?
Yeah. Oh.
We'll
Like
do
a,
some-
what? Oh,
Someone finish my heart.
well, it's not a good one.
That's a terrible heart.
Well, that's a good heart. That's
There we
good.
go.
There we go.
But yeah, you know, I would say having people, I'd say in my space that I'm comfortable with has been very important for me, because typically on a weekly basis in person, I'm really only talking to Lucas, and I don't really get like the human interaction.
And Daisy.
Oh, Daisy.
Daisy yells.
Daisy, yeah. She, I think, accumulated my communication style when I was younger, which is just, blah! And, like, she just, like, you know, blurts it out.
Wait, can you do that again?
Yeah, can you do it?
Can you do that one more time?
Or can
No.
you do your scare from earlier? Sorry.
Wait, why did I get scared again?
The
Oh,
fire
fire
alarm.
alarm. That's what,
But it was like a delayed response.
oh, well, because sometimes things don't process in my brain, right? Because my brain's already, you know, in the, in the ringer. But yeah, I was going to say, she brought up a really good point that I want to touch on. She said, you know, Miranda, you need to just go to the beach. I'm like, trust me, I know. And then it's like, well, just go and like have a day. I would say, yeah, that's a day. So then it's like, okay, so if I go to bed at 7 a.m. and then we go to the beach, we get up at 10. Okay, so now it's 3 hours of sleep. I'm already run down. Now I'm going to feel bloated in a bathing suit. We love that. Now we're going to the beach. Now we got to pack the car. That's energy. We got to eat. That's also energy. Then we're going to get to the beach. Now we're already, you know, hour drive in. Now we're going to have to eat because we all eat in the car. Like, not in the car. We all are eaters. So now So now we probably have the Yeti cooler with the ice. Now we need to get the Yeti cooler out. Lucas will do that. Now we need to make sure.
Wait, she's starting to assign tasks on this fictitious story. Just get to the point.
I know. Now we gotta get out, and now we gotta apply sunscreen. Everybody else can kind of just be chill with it, but Miranda over here, she fries. So therefore, Miranda has to apply sunscreen every 15 minutes.
Wait, you remember that one time you wore like that straw hat and your head got sunburnt because it was like in the sun too long?
Yes.
Oh, my scalp gets burnt a lot.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
you.
I feel like that was a
Normal.
good context to your story. Sorry.
Yeah, I wear grandma hats now because my face is. I feel like I invest a lot of money in skincare. Anyways, my point is now we're not even enjoying the beach yet. Now I'm laying down. You know, now I've already sweat through my sunscreen. Fuck, is it time to go in the pool now? Or the pool, the ocean, right?
That's a big pool.
So now it's time to go.
Are there sharks in the pool?
So no, just please stop. Now it's time to go take a dip. Now I take a dip. Freeze. Oh wow, really cold.
Wait, you know the ocean's really warm right now, right?
Okay, maybe I'm lying. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so I take a dip in the water. I come back out. Guess what it's time for? Now it's time for content. Now it's time to do content on the beach.
And you're bloated.
And now I'm bloated. I need to reapply sunscreen after this. And also, we need to make sure that Victoria gets content, right? So now, like, and this is actually crazy, like now this whole beach thing is really negative. And also, I would say it's really not negative. Like, please take my sarcasmness for what it is. But I would say the step-by-step process is actually accurate. Like, I'm not bullshitting there with like the packing the car and then us eating. That's really accurate. But I would say my point is when you're an entrepreneur and you do social media, let's just say, you almost feel guilty laying at the beach and not getting content in. Because obviously, I haven't even actually spent a day at the beach yet. Can you believe that? I'm sure you do. But it's more so just, she went down to the pool a couple times and, she made sure that she got pictures of herself. Because why? Because she's not going to have those, I'd say after this trip.
And in Canada, it's like cold.
Yeah, it's going to start getting cold over there.
Going to a snowbank.
Yeah, and so more so it's just interesting because I would say people that just go to the beach.
But Miranda doesn't just go to the beach.
No, I was just going to say when your lifestyle is never ending and the job is not 9 to 5, your job is never ending. And you choose when it ends in the day, but then it's also like, and her and I talked about this earlier, it's almost like you would feel guilty going to the beach and not getting content in because you know that that's what you should be doing. You know that you're not going to have a lot of content or you don't have enough of it because it's a game of never having enough, never doing enough, never being enough, and also like I could have done that better, and it's a whole nother thing of that. So it's more so my point is when you see things online and someone looks like they're enjoying a moment, I would say most of the time it's actually work related sometimes. A lot of the things, the pictures I post or the pictures I randomly take, there's intent behind me taking those pictures. They're not just like, I'd say for shits and giggles. For example, the post I did today, I did the pajamas. I made sure to get extra pictures because I'm like, well, if I run out of things to post, at least I have something to back up on. Like, at least I have that now. And, the content is never ending. So it more so I just want to kind of give insight to what it actually realistically is to do content
at the beach with Miranda.
At the beach, when you're trying to have a vacation, when you're trying to be off of the clock, you're never really off of the clock. That's just kind of like the way it is. And now it's 9:30.
It's time to do legs. Again.
Thank you.
She's saying thank you and please subscribe.
I think I ended the YouTube video with food in my mouth last time. Like those tacos.
You did. You actually took a bite of the taco and went, bye.
Yeah. But anyways, we're done with the YouTube video now. We're wrapping this up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do feel bad that the audio wasn't on the other one, but I would say we typically did speak about the same stuff.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
The back of your head looked ridiculous.
What do you mean?
It's a joke.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a kid joke. Sorry.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, a kid joke.
I'm a kid at heart. Sorry.
Yeah,
I might cut that out.
We know. Don't cut it out. Don't cut it out.
All
right. Anyways, all right. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow Victoria because can you zoom in on this part? Do you know how to do that or not?
Yeah. On your face or her face?
And just something.
Don't zoom in on mine. I'm hidden by that.
I was gonna say we support our friends. We're not jealous of our friends. We care about our friends' success. We want to see them win too. this is real, right? We're not fake friends. This is what real friends do. Okay. So I would say if you ever feel that you're becoming jealous of your friend,
They're not your friend.
they're not your friend. No, you're not their friend.
Ah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Subscribe. Try to be a nice person, kind person. And if you ever go to the grocery store and you happen to see the homestyle Rice Krispie treats, I hope you think of me. Bye.